Hello. Hi, I'm Joanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational system. And we've been talking for a while about interoception, and we've been in the process of exploring some interoceptive activities to help develop the skills in that area of the hidden sense of interoception, which is the part of our brains that help us to understand what we're feeling. It helps us to make sense of what's happening inside when we're encountering external stimuli. And it also helps us to ultimately manage our emotions and our behavior, which is why this particular inner sense is so important to me because I've taught children for 27 years as a special education teacher. And I've always looked for ways to motivate my students to have better behavior, to move ahead, to feel good about themselves with self esteem. But I did not realize that this was one part of the brain that was called the interoceptive network that had everything to do with all of the things that I had been attempting to facilitate in my classrooms. So this is now a really important topic for me to explore and unpack. So as we continue on, I found this one article, and it was, I believe, called it's a Frontiers of the Mind, and it's called Mindfulness, Interoception, and the Body, a Contemporary Perspective. Now, this article has a lot of pieces to it, and I've been in the process of unpacking it from, well, moment to moment. And in particular, um, in this conversation, I thought it would be a good time for a recap. So the article was talking about how the interceptive network, which we've been exploring, and the insula, which I've also spoken about in the past, are essential for most affective, which is our sensing part of our brain, our cognitive, which is with the thinking part, of course, and the interpersonal processes that we have to interact with the people in our world. And it went on to say that these functions are crucial for our relating to our environment. So each of these affective, cognitive, and interpersonal are everything that we need in order to interact with the external world. The insula, which we've described as a switch between our different states of mind. Remember, we spoke about the default mode network, which is our basic state of mind, daydreaming, being, just existing in the moment. Our executive functioning, which is when we're starting to think and solve problems and factor in different processes that we've learned in time past and anticipation of what we're going to deal with in the future. And the salience network, which is our fight or flight system. And that is also what gets us motivated to start working on our goals. So it's not all bad. It's definitely all of these sections are needed. However, that insula is sort of like a switch. It is a switch in a way, but that's not giving it its due because it does so much more. Um, I found out that while interoception takes in all of the sensory information that comes in from the outside world through the various brain regions, and it's a huge amount of areas that the interoceptive network impacts or integrates or has activities within those different regions of the brain. But it's the insula that actually integrates the information from the body. And it does this in a really fascinating way. It coordinates and integrates the sensations of the entire body that has to do with the environment or the exteroceptive stimuli that it's receiving. So it's sort of like the cognitive control center. The insular cortex, this article describes, it's highly interconnected. It's a highly interconnected core system for task dependent control of goal directed behavior and sensory processing. So you could see why I'm really focusing on looking at the insula and activities that we can have our children practice to build and improve how their insula works within their interoceptive network. So we'll be looking at a few of these activities in the next couple of conversations. Now, this was, like I said, an article that was very dense, and I'm taking it apart bit by bit so that I can understand it, and hopefully so that I can explain it to you in these conversations. So, until next time, oh, and please thank you for subscribing, those of you who have, and please subscribe because it gives me encouragement that there are people out there that really want to hear these conversations. So, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to talking with you next time. Bye bye.